I can tell you the probably the most important thing when I went back to Switzerland is my father opened his solo derm practice. So, he was finished with his postdoc. My mom went to work at the Geneva Hospital. My dad opened his practice. And I worked with my father from 10 to 17 years
What?
old.
You
Yeah.
what do you, okay, you worked with your dad like side by side. Was that your high school education? How does that work? That sounds
I
amazing.
work. Yeah, he brought laser technology to Europe. So after doing, he was the first physician to bring laser technology to Europe. This was in 1986, and so at that time, lasers were used to treat port wine stains and hemangiomas in young children. So it was a very medicinal, medical use of lasers. Also, port wine stains and hemangiomas are not treatable by anything other than lasers.
Mm.
Also, he was the only one who had one in Europe. And so parents were bringing their infants, toddlers, young children from everywhere in Europe to see him. So he was deluged with business, which was wonderful. And, he worked from 6 a.m. to 9, 10 p.m., 7 days a week for most of what I remember of high school. Obviously, this is not easy to find a receptionist to work those same hours. And so I would help him, sometimes before school. I would help him in the afternoons and the evenings. I would help him in the weekends. And I would do things like sit at the desk, answer the phone, take messages, check patients in. So I wasn't, I was doing things that, did not require special skills.
Well, but I
Um,
mean, but why you though, and why not your next sister? Like, what was it? I feel like when I watch like Hollywood films, there's always the one kid that the parent, typically the father, is like, okay, you're the one.
Well, I should be careful what I say because hopefully my sisters will be listening to this podcast. So let's, the parents have no favorite children for sure. I can
Not the
tell
not
you.
not the favorite. I mean, I guess
No, no.
you know what I
Yes,
mean. Like
I do
like
know what you mean.
this is
And
the one who's going to take over the family business because the other ones are out partying. Okay, I know your sisters, no offense, but I've got three
yeah,
sons and, no
well,
favorites.
I can tell you that the one thing that my dad did with me, which I think he did differently with my three younger sisters, is he raised me like a boy. And
Oh,
he's very clear in his head. And I'm not saying he wanted a boy or, anything
yeah.
of the sort, but he decided when I was born that he was going to raise me like he would raise a boy. I,
Wow.
what that means, I don't have my own children, so I can't exactly tell you what that means, but in my mind and the way that he talks about it, we've always interpreted it, or I've always interpreted it as, ambition, work hard, strive for like the top, the most, the hardest, no crying in baseball type of, thing, like put your big girl pants on, meaning put your big boy pants on and go and do the things. So perhaps that's why. The difference between 10 years old and 8 years old is also a significant, it's 2 years, but it's why me and not my sister Cyril? Probably because I was 10. And, if I had had a bigger sister who was 12, he probably would have picked her.